Hello everyone, I'm Judy and welcome to my 21 cents. I'm here today to share a few of my yarn projects. It's been a while since I've been on talking about yarn. I've been having so much fun over the holidays and there's just so many things to do. I didn't get on and do any videos. I almost forgot how much fun it is. It really is fun. So let me get right into it. I'm wearing a poncho. And the pattern is by Ophelia Talks. I'll put a link to it in the description below. It's made of acrylic yarn and in a granny square type of pattern with 3 double crochets, clusters. And it's called the weekend poncho, and it really was quick to make. It took me about 3 days. But it's really nice. Quick, nice. You can make it as big as you want, of course. Just keep on crocheting. You can see the whole thing. I've also been working on these little snapbacks, which pattern is that I used was by the Gourmet Quilter. To make the opening, you use a piece of magnetic, it's not magnetic, it's a ruler that's metal, and you cut it to the length you need and put something on the ends to keep it from being too sharp, and it goes in these slots at the top and causes the opening. I have another one that I'm working on. I'm making about 12 inches long at the top, 12 inches wide. I made about 100 of these for my adult son, who uses them for things like keeping his trading cards inside. And the only thing different that I did was to sew the edges with my serger so that the inside would be clean, no seams sticking out. And actually, I guess it could be reversible. Just turn it inside out. However, the direction in which you place the metal ruler does make a difference. So in that case, it's not really reversible. I've also been knitting a shawl, and I've decided I'm going to frog it out because this pattern is just too complicated for my brain right now. It's like knit 4, purl 2, slip marker, yarn over, knit 2, purl 6, and that's just too much for me to remember. So I've decided that I'm going to frog this out and make something else with it, like maybe a hat and a cowl or a scarf or something. It's a pretty pattern. The knitting pattern is a pretty pattern, but it doesn't really show up well with this yarn. So all that complicated knitting just doesn't really seem to be worth the effort for this particular project. Anyway, I'm using scarfy yarn. It's really soft. And it's 78% acrylic, 22% wool. It says machine wash, lay flat to dry. It's a number 5. And in this one skein is 312 yards. So I have 3 skeins, so I guess there's a lot of things I could actually make with that. I've also been working on this baby blanket. Now I use the diagonal washcloth pattern, and I thought, well, you start off with something like 5 stitches, and you add a stitch or 2, and you do some rows that are plain, or you add a stitch at the beginning and the end of the row, or the beginning of each row, I think it is actually. And then once it gets to be a certain length per side, because you're working with a triangle, then you begin to decrease and you end up with a square. But it's taken me forever. I've been working on it for several months. Now I've been using a Kartopu yarn from Hobium. It's yellow with bits of pink and green. I didn't have a baby in mind when I first started making it, and then I found that my childhood friend found out that my childhood friend that we met when we were 2 years old just became a grandma for the first time. And I had no baby in mind for this when I first started making it. However, I think it's more appropriate for a girl since nowadays pink is the color for girls. So, because her grandbaby is a boy, I think I'll have to make him something else. But it turns out up until about 1927, pink was the color for boys. I didn't know that until I saw my dad, who was born in 1927, wearing pink in a baby picture, and I thought, well, something's not right here. And it turns out that that was actually the color for boys back then. So, and another thing I've been working on is I like to make scrappy blankets. And this one is very colorful, using lots of different yarns, mostly 4 and 3 weights, in the V stitch. Now, if I had made it longer, I made it about the right size for a lapgan or an afghan. But if I had made it longer from the beginning, it could have been an airy shawl or a scarf or something. But I'm just going to continue with it and make it into the lapgan that I had intended to make. I also have planned a book giveaway in the future with a finished object to go with it, because the pattern for that object is in the book. But I decided to make a finished one to give away with the book. It's a crochet mystery, and more will be coming on about that soon. So that was just a quick video for today, and I'll come back tomorrow or the next day with some more of my projects, and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you for watching.